Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kaniti, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today we are going to watch 34th episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. Yes, 34th. So let's see what it has. Let's go. Mhm. Something else is inside me. Sounds scary. Yeah, I remember he was climbing. Okay, so this is basically a lot of reminders of what happened in like previous episodes. Though with chickens, actually, I kind of forgot about that. It was about time, not about gravity, right? So, like quickening the time. That felt more in line with the world's abilities, for example. Yeah, and yeah, that's the detail on his head reminds me a little bit of kind of old-fashioned hands of a clock, but maybe it's supposed to be something super different, because like time and gravity, they are both very major parts of the world, right? The whole could you say like basis of the world, but at the same time at the same time, time and gravity pretty different, because you can go in space and there you wouldn't have gravity, right? But the time would still pass. So time is such an intangible thing that will always be there no matter what. The time passes always no matter what. So time is a bit different to gravity. That is more like it cannot be here. It can be different. The gravity could be stronger, it could be weaker. It's a pretty different variable. But here it seems like his newfound stand that is supposed to have maybe some of the Dio's powers, or maybe some of the I'm thinking because the body was like the Joestar line body. So sea moon, like and after all, the star is the Joestar star. He's going to target him. heck? That's a bit different now. Turning things inside out. Doubles. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes everything fall without touching, but what it touches turns inside out. Yeah, it's a completely different new ability that kinda doesn't even have the parts of Green Baby's own abilities and Pooch's own abilities. They kinda don't play any kind of role, I think, in Gravity, right? That it can reverse the effect again. Yeah. I mean, it sounds logical. It's like in a fighting game. I don't know, I just got this impression. A fighting game with some parkour in it. I think she can just turn her leg into strings to take it out, maybe. Like unravel it. So the user has to be very, very close. I think hmm that's what she implies. He didn't seem like he was watching the fight. He was busy climbing some wall of law. She decided to go for both, try to save Anasu and attack the stand. Yeah, very practical. Yeah, it did look like it shouldn't be too hard to grab the rope. It seemed pretty close. Like, they spent a lot of time talking when they could be doing something. There's this black thing like oil. Yeah. That's an interesting metaphor. Caused God. So, what kind of area does it affect? Like, how many kilometers? It looks like, yeah, they just went into the zone of affection, affected zone. I think they said like a few kilometers. So it's a pretty huge zone. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to destroy it yet. I don't think. um, let's see. If we get rid of the stand so soon, what will we do the remaining episodes? So to slow it down, so he would be affected. some protective field around it. Still undergoing an evolution. Interesting. So it will evolve even more. Yeah, because now there's like no gravity. That is a vital area. Hot. Isn't it like deadly? Well, she's the main character. She can't die until the very last episode at least. Someone's calling? You can sense it. Okay, there's a Jatara. knows everything. How? That's a very strong connection. So she managed to survive just barely somehow, but she's still in great danger. Yeah, it's a bit disadvantageous when the enemy can feel your life force. I don't know. But it's not only gravity, like this protective field. Can it be connected to gravity or time? No. Okay, so he'll try to go after Pucci. Well, still, Pucci feels where Jolene is, probably. He feels her presence. It would probably be nice, like, to follow him. At least he will lead you to Jolene, too. Okay. That was a very interesting episode. His abilities, okay, that was to be continued, so there shouldn't be an additional scene, but the ending is so nice. And there's a butterfly near the sea. I'm being distracted by the ending. The episode was very interesting, but the like abilities and everything with Butch's stand is a bit confusing. Like there was a merge, the green baby was created. Yeah, it kind of used Dio's bone, but also Dia had Joster bloodline, Jonathan's body, at the time. So it kind of has both. That's why it has the star and some of this. It seems like some time abilities too, based on what we saw with like a chicken and her fingernails and stuff like that. But also somehow the gravity abilities comes out from nowhere, while green baby itself has like size change ability. Pucci himself had like disc ability with like, memories and stands could be extracted and installed with his discs, but gravity is completely different from any of this. So this is a bit confusing how the mix has created this kind of ability. But now also we saw he has some kind of protective field around him, and like how is this connected to his ability? Oh, wait a second, I have missed the name of the stand. Father Pucci and Sea Moon. Okay, I already saw it in the episode that he decided to call his stand Sea Moon. And also, there is a chart of his strengths, but it's not translated, and he only has strengths on like on one side. But yeah, design is pretty cool. Okay, maybe it doesn't really look like a hand of a clock. Still, this golden thingy on his forehead is very peculiar. I'm not really sure like what Jeline did think of to protect herself from death, since especially she's still in great danger, she's still barely alive. So she managed to do something just to stay alive, not to like completely revert what happened. We could argue that maybe when he said like go for the most vital point, she had a few seconds to prepare. So maybe she used her ability to protect herself at least a little bit. That's all I can think of, because well, how can you do anything about this gravity ability without like using your own abilities? Because other than that we can't really manipulate gravity that much. But yeah, that would be it for this episode. I think I feel a bit confused on the powers of the stand and kind of how this all works. I think it's interesting that Pucci was talking about like we have to not surpass, kind of get rid of the Josta bloodline. That it's kind of a problem for us, me and the deceased Dio. I think that's kind of like the same that Dio wanted to get rid of Josters, and now Pucci is kind of continuing his work, and I think this connection of his to Dia starts showing up more and more. The connection of kind of ideas and goals and some of the powers maybe, so that's very interesting. Maybe how to see that these ideas and these goals, even though Dia has died, they were passed on, like inherited will. It's a pretty big theme in One Piece, my favorite manga. Inherited will is very important theme there, and I feel like now in this part of JoJo especially, like it was also in previous parts somehow a little, but I feel like in this part especially the theme of inherited will is being explored once more. But yeah, with that said, I think that's probably all that I wanted to say for today. So please share your thoughts in the comments without spoilers, of course. Thank you for watching, and see ya!